There's an invisible thread connecting two souls across time and space, woven by the very fabric of the universe in moments beyond our human comprehension. Think of it like Edgar Cayce, the renowned psychic, described accessing the Akashic records. No encounter is by chance. Every person we meet carries an unseen mission, a purpose our soul recognizes before our mind even awakens to it. When the universe decides to unite two souls, it sends subtle signals, cosmic whispers, echoing through synchronicities, dreams, and inexplicable sensations that make us stop in a crowd and feel something bigger is happening. The first sign the universe sends when it wants to unite us with someone manifests as instant recognition. That moment when you look into someone's eyes and feel like you're looking into a mirror of your own soul. Cayce spoke of soulmates, those who've journeyed together through multiple lifetimes, learning, growing, supporting each other on their evolutionary journey. When you meet this person, it's not just ordinary physical or emotional attraction. It's as if every cell in your body awakens to an ancient memory, as if your soul whispers, "I know you from somewhere." It could be a stranger in a coffee shop line, someone you've never seen before, but when your gazes meet, there's a familiarity that defies all rational logic. Your hands might tremble slightly, your breath might catch, and you feel an inexplicable peace, as if you've finally come home after a long journey. This recognition isn't limited to the first encounter. It manifests in how you communicate without words, how you know exactly what this person is feeling just by observing their posture, how your conversations flow naturally, as if they're a continuation of a dialogue that began long ago. Cayce explained that souls who meet repeatedly throughout lifetimes develop their own language, a form of communication that transcends physical barriers. You can be in complete silence with this person and feel completely understood. There's an energetic harmony that makes you move in sync, like two dancers who know every step of the choreography without ever having rehearsed together. When the universe conspires to unite two souls, it also orchestrates a symphony of synchronicities that become impossible to ignore. The second sign manifests through these meaningful coincidences that begin to multiply around both of you. Perhaps you discover you were born in the same hospital, that your grandparents shared the same name, that you were both at the same place at crucial moments in your lives without ever having known each other. These synchronicities aren't just interesting curiosities. They're markers left by the universe, invisible footprints showing how your souls have been connected even when your physical paths hadn't yet crossed. Cayce taught that the universe operates through precise laws, and when two souls are destined to meet, all of creation aligns to facilitate that encounter. You might start noticing certain songs playing on the radio whenever you're thinking about this person, that you find objects or symbols that hold special meaning for both of you at unexpected moments, that other people mention this person in seemingly casual conversations. It's as if the very fabric of reality is being rewritten to bring you two closer, as if the universe is leaving breadcrumbs for your souls to find each other along the way. These synchronicities often manifest through shared dreams, where you both dream of similar situations, places you've never visited together, or experiences that complement each other mysteriously. Cayce spoke of how souls communicate through the astral plane during sleep, and that synchronized dreams are a form of preparation for the physical encounter. You might wake up with the feeling that you spoke with this person during the night, even if you don't remember exactly what was said. There's a sense of intimacy that can't be explained by the amount of time you've spent together on the physical plane. The third sign the universe sends when it wants to unite two souls manifests through a profound inner transformation that happens in both of you. When you meet your soulmate, you don't remain the same person. It's as if this person's presence activates dormant aspects of your personality, as if they bring forth versions of you that you didn't even know existed. Cayce explained that souls meet not only for romantic love, but for mutual growth, for healing old wounds, for developing qualities that need to be refined in this incarnation. This transformation isn't always comfortable. Sometimes the presence of your soulmate can awaken painful memories from past lives, karmic patterns that need to be resolved, shadowy aspects of your personality that need to be integrated. You might feel exposed, vulnerable, as if this person can see through all the masks you wear to protect yourself from the world. But this vulnerability is sacred. It's the fertile ground where true love can grow. It's through this mutual exposure that you both can heal, forgive, and transform together. Cayce taught that souls often meet to resolve conflicts from past lives, to transform patterns of pain into opportunities for growth. You might discover that this person awakens in you a compassion you didn't know you possessed, a patience that goes beyond your usual limits, a capacity to forgive that surprises even yourself. At the same time, you might notice that your deepest fears are confronted gently but firmly, that your resistances are dissolved not through force but through unconditional love. This transformation is often accompanied by changes in your external life. You may feel the need to make different choices, to follow paths that once seemed impossible, to align more deeply with your life purpose. The presence of your soulmate acts as a spiritual catalyst, accelerating your growth and evolution. You two become mirrors to each other, reflecting not only who you are, but who you can become. At this point, let me pause on this journey of revelations to share something from the heart. If these words are touching your soul, if you are recognizing signs in your own life, I invite you to join our community of awakened souls. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell, because together we are creating a sacred space where ancient wisdom meets modern life, where the teachings of Edgar Cayce illuminate the mysteries of the human heart. Your presence here is not coincidental, it's part of a larger plan, and by connecting with us, you are following the whispers of your own soul. The fourth sign the universe sends when it wants to unite two souls manifests through perfect timing that defies all human logic. Edgar Cayce spoke about how souls make contracts before incarnating, spiritual agreements on when and how they will meet in physical life. When that moment arrives, everything aligns almost magically, as if time itself bends to allow you two to meet exactly when you are both ready for this connection. You may have spent years preparing for this encounter without even knowing it. Perhaps you went through relationships that didn't work out, experiences that seemed painful at the time, but that you now realize were necessary for your growth. Every heartbreak, every lesson learned, every moment of solitude was part of a larger preparation process. Your soul was being polished, your wounds were being healed, your capacity to love was being expanded so that you could be ready to receive and give the love your soulmate deserves. Divine timing manifests in how you two reach the meeting point from completely different directions, yet with perfect synchronicity. Perhaps one of you just moved to town, while the other finally decided to frequent that place they always avoided. Or you both went through significant personal transformations that made you able to recognize and value the kind of love you can share. The universe waited patiently until you were both aligned not only emotionally, but also spiritually. Cayce taught that the timing of soulmate encounters is orchestrated by spiritual masters, by the guides who accompany our evolutionary journey. They observe our progress, our readiness, our capacity to handle the transformative power of true love. When we reach the ideal point of development, when our souls are mature enough to benefit each other mutually, then the encounter is permitted. That's why we often try to force connections that aren't meant to be, or try to make relationships work that aren't aligned with our greater purpose. But when the timing is divine, everything flows naturally, effortlessly, like a river finding its natural bed. This perfect timing also manifests in how you two are in similar phases of spiritual growth. You may be asking similar questions about the meaning of life, seeking the same spiritual truths, undergoing parallel awakenings of consciousness. There's a synchronicity in the development of your souls that allows you to grow together instead of one dragging the other down. You become fellow spiritual travelers, supporting each other in the pursuit of truth, healing, and connection with the divine. The fifth and final sign the universe sends when it wants to unite two souls is perhaps the most powerful of all: the feeling of completeness and purpose that arises when you are together. Edgar Cayce spoke about soulmates not as two halves of a whole, but as two complete souls who chose to evolve together. When you meet your soulmate, you don't feel incomplete without them, but rather empowered in their presence. It's as if you were a musical note that, upon finding its perfect harmony, creates a symphony that neither you nor they could create alone. This feeling of completeness manifests in a very specific way. You feel more yourself when you're with this person, more connected to your essence, more aligned with your life purpose. There's a deep peace that goes beyond momentary happiness, a serenity that comes from knowing you are exactly where you should be with who you should be. Even in difficult times, even when you face challenges together, there's a solid foundation of certainty that you can overcome any obstacle because you are aligned with a higher purpose. Cayce taught that when two souls meet in this way, they not only benefit each other, but also become a channel of blessings for the world around them. Together, you radiate a light that inspires others, a harmony that heals environments, a force that can transform situations. You discover that you have a shared mission, a work to do together that goes beyond your personal interests. It could be creating a conscious family, developing a project that benefits humanity, or simply being an example of unconditional love in a world that desperately needs more love. This feeling of shared purpose manifests in how you naturally support each other's dreams and aspirations. There's no competition, no jealousy, no attempt to diminish the other to feel bigger. Instead, there's a genuine celebration of mutual successes, a sincere desire to see the other shine, an understanding that when one grows, both grow. You become each other's biggest fans, most loyal advocates, wisest advisors. When these five forces align, recognition, synchronicities, mutual transformation, perfect timing, and a sense of wholeness, you can be certain you're not experiencing a coincidence, but a sacred moment orchestrated by the universe itself. Edgar Cayce taught us that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that our journey on Earth is a precious opportunity for growth, healing, and evolution. When we find our soulmate, we are receiving one of the greatest gifts the universe can offer, the chance to experience love in its purest form, to grow together towards the light, to fulfill our spiritual mission hand in hand with someone who understands our journey because they're walking the same path. But it's important to understand that these signs don't guarantee an easy journey. In fact, Cayce often warned that the most significant relationships are also the most challenging because they confront us with our deepest patterns, oldest wounds, and most ingrained fears. When two souls meet to grow together, they not only share moments of ecstasy and connection, but also weather the storms of transformation together. You may discover that your soulmate awakens emotions you preferred to keep buried, challenges beliefs you considered unshakable, and pushes you to be a better version of yourself even when you'd rather stay in your comfort zone. This is the sacred nature of conscious love. It doesn't allow us to remain stagnant. It gently but firmly pushes us toward our highest potential. Cayce taught that souls often meet to resolve old karma, heal wounds from past lives, and learn lessons that couldn't be learned in previous incarnations. This means the relationship may awaken painful patterns that need transformation. You might find yourself repeating unhealthy family dynamics or confronting aspects of your personality you'd rather not acknowledge. But it's precisely through this process of confrontation and healing that true growth occurs. The difference between a conscious karmic relationship and one based solely on physical or emotional attraction is that in the former, both partners are committed to mutual growth. They understand that difficulties are opportunities for healing, conflicts are invitations to deeper understanding, and differences are gifts that allow each to expand their perspective. Instead of running away when things get tough, they delve deeper, seeking to understand not only what's happening on the surface, but also what spiritual lesson is being offered. When you recognize you're experiencing one of these sacred encounters, it's important to approach the relationship with reverence and awareness. Cayce always emphasized the importance of prayer and meditation in all aspects of life, especially relationships. He recommended that couples pray together, seek spiritual guidance for their decisions, and maintain a connection with the divine as the center of their union. When two people connect not only on a physical and emotional level, but also on a spiritual one, they create a solid foundation that can withstand any storm. The practice of joint meditation is especially powerful for couples who feel this spiritual connection. When two souls sit in silence together, synchronize their breaths, and open themselves to receive divine guidance in unity, they create an energetic field greater than the sum of their individual parts. In this sacred space, they can receive insights into their relationship's purpose, guidance on navigating challenges, and a renewal of their spiritual connection. Cayce also spoke about the importance of shared service as a way to strengthen the bond between soulmates. When two people unite to serve something larger than themselves, channeling the love they feel for each other into actions that benefit the world, they elevate the relationship to a transcendental level. This could be volunteering, creative projects, mentoring youth, caring for the elderly, or any form of positive contribution to the community. The important thing is that they find ways to express together the love they've received. There's also an important practical dimension to these conscious relationships. Cayce emphasized that spiritual growth must be integrated with daily life, that spiritual truths should be expressed through concrete actions and practical choices. This means couples connecting at this level must also develop healthy communication skills, learn to resolve conflicts constructively, and create mutual support structures that work in everyday life. Conscious communication is particularly important. This means speaking not only about what you think, but also what you feel and the deeper needs of your soul. It means listening not only to your partner's words, but also the feelings behind the words, the unexpressed needs, and the unacknowledged fears. It means creating a safe space where both can be completely vulnerable, completely authentic, without fear of judgment or rejection. Cayce also spoke about the importance of forgiveness in conscious relationships. He taught that forgiveness isn't just an action we perform, but a state of being we cultivate. When two souls meet to grow together, they inevitably hurt each other, inevitably make mistakes, and inevitably fail to live up to their highest ideals. But it's through mutual forgiveness that they love unconditionally, transcend the limitations of the ego, and connect with the divine source of love that never runs dry. Conscious forgiveness goes beyond simply forgetting hurts. It involves understanding the spiritual roots of conflict, acknowledging the karmic patterns being played out, and consciously choosing to transform pain into wisdom, resentment into compassion, separation into unity. When two people practice this kind of forgiveness, they not only heal present wounds, but also release patterns of pain that may have persisted through multiple lifetimes. It's also important to recognize that not all intense relationships are soulmate relationships in the sense Cayce described. Some connections are karmic, designed to teach specific lessons and then part ways. Others are soul connections, but not necessarily destined to be long-lasting romantic relationships. The wisdom lies in discerning the true nature of the connection and honoring the purpose for which it was created. The signs we've described, when they appear consistently together, generally indicate a deeper, more enduring connection. But even when you recognize these signs, it's important not to become overly attached to outcomes. Cayce always emphasized that free will is sacred, and that even when two souls are destined to meet, they must still consciously choose to create a healthy and loving relationship. Sometimes the timing isn't right for both people. One may be ready for a deep connection, while the other is still dealing with personal issues that prevent them from opening fully. In these cases, conscious love may mean giving space, having patience, and trusting that if the connection is truly divine, it will find a way to express itself when both people are ready. Other times, external circumstances may create obstacles to the relationship. Family commitments, geographical differences, or other responsibilities can complicate the connection. Here again, the wisdom lies in finding creative ways to honor the connection within the limits of the current situation, trusting that the universe has a larger plan that may not be immediately apparent. Cayce often spoke about how souls make choices on a spiritual level that their human personalities don't always understand. Sometimes two souls may choose to meet briefly to awaken one another, to catalyze important changes in their lives, even if they aren't destined to stay together physically. In these cases, the encounter is a gift to be received with gratitude, not possessiveness. The mark of a truly conscious relationship is that it brings out the best in both people, even if they eventually go their separate ways. If an intense connection leaves you feeling diminished, manipulated, or disconnected from your own truth, then it's probably not the soulmate connection we're describing, but rather a karmic pattern that needs to be acknowledged and transformed. As we approach the end of this journey of understanding, it's important to reflect on how these teachings apply to your current life. Perhaps you've already encountered your soulmate and are recognizing the signs we've described. Or perhaps you're still in the process of preparation, polishing the aspects of your personality that need to be developed before you can attract and sustain such a deep connection. Cayce always emphasized that preparation for true love begins with self-love. Not the narcissistic self-love that is based on superiority over others, but the compassionate self-love that acknowledges your own divinity, that accepts your imperfections as part of the human journey, that commits to your own growth and healing. When you love yourself in this way, you naturally attract other people who are also committed to growth and healing. Regular spiritual practice is also essential to prepare for a soulmate connection. This might include meditation, prayer, studying sacred texts, working with dreams, or any practice that connects you with your higher self. The more you align with your own spiritual nature, the more easily you will recognize the spiritual nature in others, and the more capable you will be of creating relationships based on truth and authenticity. Personal healing work is equally important. Cayce always emphasized that we carry our unresolved patterns into all our relationships. If you have wounds of abandonment, betrayal, or rejection, they will influence how you relate to your soulmate. Doing the work of acknowledging and healing these wounds, whether through therapy, spiritual work, or other healing modalities, creates a stronger foundation for true love to blossom. It's also important to cultivate qualities like patience, compassion, humility, and forgiveness in your daily life. These qualities are essential for navigating the challenges that arise in any deep relationship. When you practice these qualities with friends, family, and even strangers, you are preparing to express them on an even deeper level with your soulmate. Finally, it's crucial to maintain an attitude of gratitude and trust in the divine process. Cayce always said that the universe is benevolent, that every soul is loved and supported on its journey. When you trust that the universe has your best interests at heart, you can relax into the journey, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when you can't see the whole picture. This trust allows you to open yourself to the possibilities the universe presents, rather than getting stuck on fixed ideas about what your soulmate should look like or where they should appear. Sometimes our expectations limit our ability to recognize the gifts the universe is offering. When you cultivate an attitude of openness and curiosity, you become more receptive to the signs and synchronicities the universe is sending. As you reflect on these truths, as you examine your own journey in light of these teachings, remember that every step you take toward true love is sacred. Every relationship you've had, every lesson you've learned, every moment of pain you've transformed into wisdom, it all forms part of the preparation for the love your soul yearns for. The universe is always working to bring together the soulmates who belong together, but it does so according to a divine timing that doesn't always align with our human desires. Trust the process, honor the journey, and know that when you're aligned with your higher purpose, when you're living in harmony with the spiritual laws that govern the universe, the love you seek is also seeking you. May these words have awakened in you not just knowledge, but recognition. May you see with new eyes the signs already present in your life, or may you prepare your heart to receive the signs yet to come. May you trust the wisdom of your own heart, the guidance of your spirit guides, and the infinite love that flows through all of creation. And now, as you sit in silence for a moment, allowing these truths to settle into your soul, ask yourself, what signs is the universe already sending you, and are you ready to receive them with an open heart and an awakened mind?